Hi everybody, we are going to work on our affirmations and our affirmations today. I want to remind you what those two things mean. So I'm going to read you the definitions. An affirmation is a question statement to help guide the brain to find where and why a statement is true, such as, why am I so powerful? Or why am I good enough? And an affirmation is an I am statement, positive and in the present tense. And I always like to add evidence to this affirmation. Remember, what we tell our brain is what our brain looks for evidence for. So if we're telling our brain, I am good enough, then our brain is looking for evidence to support why we are good enough. If we're telling our brain that we're not good enough, then our brain starts looking for all of these things that say we're not good enough. If you say, I'm not a good enough mom, I'm not a good enough wife, I'm not a good enough friend, your brain's going to be looking for all these little things to support that. But if you tell yourself, I am a good enough mom because I, and then you fill in the blank, or I am a good enough friend because I, and then you fill in the blank, that's what your brain is going to be looking for. Okay, so this is the time where you get to be super vulnerable with us. Okay, we're going to ask you some questions each week, and you're going to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 for each of the questions. And then we would love for you to send these results to your mentor so that we know how to help you and how to support you. Okay, so get a piece of paper out and a pencil, and I want you to write down the answers to these questions. Okay, a 1 is no, not at all, and a 10 means yes, no doubt. Okay, and today we're going to work on I am good enough. So question number 1, do you feel like no matter what you do, everything always works out for you? If you think no, not at all, it's a 1, all the way up to a 10, yes, no doubt. Okay, write your answer down. Number 2 is, are you easily bothered when you make a mistake? 1, no, not at all the way to 10, yes, no doubt. I am easily bothered when I make a mistake. Okay, number 3, do you feel uneasy, anxious, or argumentative when others recognize your faults? A 1, no, not at all. I don't feel that way. All the way up to 10, yes, no doubt. I feel that way a lot. Okay. Number 4, do you feel as though no matter what you do, your efforts are never good enough? 1, no, not at all. 10, yes, no doubt. And then the last question is, there's 2 more. Number 5, are you highly judgmental of yourself? 1, no, not at all the way up to 10, no doubt, yes. And then number 6, are you highly judgmental of others? A 1 would be not at all, and a 10 would be yes, no doubt. Okay, you might need to play this recording a couple times to do it a little bit slower and to really think about your answers. But we want you to be vulnerable, like I said. Send your responses to your mentor so that we know how to support you. And here's where the fun part comes in. We're going to teach you how to do something called mirror work. And mirror work is when you get in front of the mirror in the morning and you say an affirmation. So this week we're focusing on I am good enough. So you're going to look at yourself in the mirror. Make sure you're doing this. Don't just say it. You need to be looking at yourself eye to eye. Be vulnerable with yourself. Okay, this might feel uncomfortable. You might think it sounds stupid. Do it. Okay, everybody who has done this has come out on the other side a different person. Okay, so here's what you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and say. Okay, why am I good enough? You might say, why am I good enough to create everything healthy that my heart desires? Okay, and as you say that throughout the day, you're going to reflect on that, and your brain is going to be looking for support for why you are good enough. And then in the evening time, you're going to get back in front of the mirror, and you're going to say to yourself an affirmation. So you're going to say, I am good enough because. I'm a firm believer that you need to add that because, okay? Or I am good enough to create everything healthy that my heart desires because, and fill it in. Now, if you need to change the wording of it, we give you free reign to do that. This is your affirmations and affirmations. We want it to be meaningful to you. But what we also want you to do is we want you to put on an oil in the morning and at night when you say these things to yourself so that you can breathe that oil throughout the day and remember what you're focusing on. So here are some oil choices for this week. Okay, so pick one of the following. There's Forgive, Bergamot, Melissa, Cypress, Balance, elevation, or time. So as you do your morning and evening affirmations, you're going to put it on your wrist, put it over your heart, put it in your hands and rub them together and breathe it in. And I promise you that it will really help you to start to correlate these and allow your brain to start looking for support on how you feel about yourself. Okay, we hope you guys have a great week, and let us know if you have any questions.